There are some things that one just has to let go of, or some would say quit to actually move on in life. In a book I recently read, it says that for your new self to emerge, your old self must die. And so I'm going to just simply be talking about 10 things that as a university student I sincerely want to quit to simplify my life. And I'm going to be talking about a way to actually make sure that these things that you want to quit actually stay and become sustainable. So let's get into it. The first thing that I would definitely say is no more excuses. Sometimes you actually come back from class, you're actually very tired, you had a long day, and you don't feel like you can read, you don't feel like you can wash, you don't feel like you can read the Bible, you don't feel like you can journal, you don't feel like you can do those things that you promised yourself that you would do. But I can bet you 9 out of 10 times that if there was this serious gist that your friend wanted to tell you about, you would actually go to her room and come and listen because you place priority on that gist. And so, one thing I definitely want to quit is creating excuses for myself, whether they are reasonable or sometimes whether they are not. The second thing that I would definitely want to quit is actually neglecting my health. We've all been that point where we're just working ourselves, working ourselves to the bone, working ourselves so hard, and then all of a sudden it all just comes crashing down. So now you are completely helpless and you can't do anything. Why? Because you neglected your health. Neglecting your health is practically like plus 2 minus 100. Because now you cannot do anything, you cannot do all those works that you're forcing yourself to do. Why? Because you're not feeling healthy. Prioritizing your health is just going to be something that's going to save you a whole lot of stress and energy, because it's better for you to run at a mild speed throughout the whole race than for you to run very fast for the first 10 seconds and not be able to run again throughout the race. And so the third thing that I definitely know that I want to quit is not having a sustainable morning routine. We've all heard the quote that as the morning shows the so does the child show the adult. But we're going to be focusing on the first, but that is the morning show today. I've noticed that most times when I have a nice morning, a morning where I'm not rushing, when I'm not confused and all that, the day turns out to be very nice. But when I have a morning like the one that I had today, the day turns out the way it does. Sometimes, not even sometimes, I would actually really want to quit on not having sustainable morning routines, not showing up for myself by waking up early enough for me to have the morning routine that I know that would make my day, to be the way my day is supposed to be. Number four for me would be not engaging in self-care. It's very easy to engage in self-care at home. When your mom is telling you go to bed, it's time for you to sleep so that you can have a great sleep schedule. Don't eat that thing because you know that it's going to make your body to feel somehow. Don't hang out with those people, they don't have a good attitude. But when you're in school, you're all by yourself. And so you find yourself neglecting those fruits. You find yourself not doing the steaming that your mom was telling you to always do. You find yourself hanging out with these people that are not making your vibrations to be high. It's very easy for you to neglect your self-care, to neglect things that you know that you as a person you definitely need. Not engaging in self-care is definitely something that I want to neglect because it's not going to serve you in the long run. And in the end, you're going to just find yourself building resentment. Number five for me, not caring about my finances. If you're in university, that means you're getting quite old. And so this is not the time for you to be playing around with your finances. It's not the time for you to be, let me never say this is not time. This is not time for me to be playing around with my finances and just spending money anyhow. This is the time for you to be tracking down what you're spending, and tracking down what you're doing exactly with your money. I read a book recently, The Richest Man in Babylon, and talks about how a wise man saves 10% of his earnings and lives on that remaining 90%, himself and all that. In little habits like that and making sure you're understanding how much you're spending on an average per week, it's going to help you to understand, okay, this is what I'm doing with my money, this is how I'm using it, this is how it's coming in, this is how it's going out, and God will not trust you with the true riches if you are not able to manage the riches of this world. And then number 6 is not coming for class. When you come for class, you are definitely a whole lot better than the person that did not come for class, whether the teacher taught you well or whether the teacher, because when you are not in class at all, you don't even have an idea of what the lecturer is talking about or anything. But if you're in class, whether the lecturer explains it well or not, you can see that this and this and this is what he taught. Okay, later on I will go and read it by myself and explain it to myself, even if the lecturer could not explain it to me. Which is the times when we actually come to class and we want to learn, and the lecturer just stays there and is talking to him or herself, and it's actually not funny. But at least you're in class and now you know exactly what he's talking about. And so what's gonna happen? You can actually go and read it by yourself. But if you were not in class, you wouldn't know what they taught, you wouldn't know what they did, and therefore you won't be able to read it by yourself. And then intense people looking over your shoulder, left, right, center. Number 7 is not asking for help. This is something as a university student that you have to dead it fast. Like, this is not the time to be forming James Bond. I'm Batman. and all that. It's definitely something that I know I've gotten better at, but I would definitely want to get better again at it. When you can see that you're not doing well or something, when you're sure to ask for help, ask those that and you're very sure that they can actually do this task very well. And it's sure to actually put you in a better place than if you don't ask anybody for help at all. That leads me on to number 8, which is minimizing distractions. And I will not just say distractions, things that that are setting your life on lower vibrations. This is, I would say, my most important point to me right now that I definitely want to quit, because some things that you're doing, or like me, I feel like I'm doing right now that I know that it's robbing me of my productivity. There are things that I'm doing I know that are stopping me from making a belly. There are things I know that I'm doing that are stopping me from fulfilling purpose. If I show you, let's not even go there. Let's not go there. But we know those things that are distractions. We know those things that are consuming our time. We know those things that are stopping us, from getting better. And those things are the things that I qualify under the chapter, the things that that are stopping you from rising to your potential. The things that are stopping you from doing all the things that you did under your vision board at the beginning of 2024 when you were feeling like James Bond. Those are the things that I feel that we should quit. And then number 9, this is very touching for me. Trying to please everybody. The truth is that when you wear cap, some people they'll be like, why are you wearing cap? When you don't wear cap, some people are like, you should have worn cap. When you pack your hair, they'll be like, why do you pack your hair? When you don't pack your hair, they'll be like, when do you start packing your hair? All manner of things. See, just do exactly what pleases you and what pleases God. You can never truly please anybody. When you try your best not to just be trying to please everybody, and trying to find the things that when you do them, they really resonate with you and your own personal values. That is where true happiness comes from. There are times when you actually do things that make people happy that also make you happy too. But if you're making people at the expense of your own value, at the expense of your own happiness, there's a big question mark on those things that you're doing. And the 10th thing that I definitely want to quit, that definitely cost me my 2023, was making decisions without God's instructions. And so that's something I also want to quit, not involving God in all my decisions. And there's sometimes when you're like, me, I know this field now. I need to pray about it. I deeply feel like God is interested in everything that we want to do. And that's something I definitely want to quit. Not involving God in our decisions. Because there's a way that seemeth right in the eyes of man, but those ways lead unto death. And so I'm definitely asking God for the grace to involve Him in all my decisions. As we all know, it's one thing to say that we want to quit these things, it's another thing to actually quit these things. And so I'm actually going to be linking you guys to another video. This video is not even my video, it's not sponsored, it's not, oh please show my video or something. But a video that I actually watched that really touched my heart. That talks about how to actually keep promises to yourself and do the things that you actually say you would do. And now as a creator, I should be linking you guys to my own videos, so I can have more watch time and all that. But I just truly think that I should ensure that I give you guys, the best, to ensure that you guys are actually getting useful information from this video that I'm showing you guys. And for those that don't have the time to watch it, but I sincerely feel that you should, it says the 3 things that you should do is that number 1, draw closer to God. Because it is through God that you gain the strength and the temperance and the self-control to do the things that you actually want to do. And that 2, you should actually desire of Him for His help. And I truly desire to be helped. Because sometimes that we say that we actually want to be helped by God, but our actions and our thoughts are not saying that we want to be helped by God. Number 3 is actually taking the actions and things that God will tell us to do once we've asked for His help. Because faith is by work, and if you truly believe that He can help you, by doing the things that He tells you to do, that's the way that we can actually experience the help of God to truly change and quit the things that we know that are completely ruining our lives. And so I hope that these 10 things have inspired somebody out there, on things to quit, to simply simplify your life as a university student, to ensure that you are making the best of your university experience and not using it to gamble. So I love you guys. For those that are new here, it's Eno on Student Lifestyle Eno, and I'll see you guys on the channel. Wish you guys the best that life has to offer.